like 40 minutes.
Gio, I'm gonna start with you. You got anything you want to start with?
You're gonna start with me
Yeah.
again. Yeah. Uh, so I was watching, ESPN's First Take today,
Yeah.
and they were saying like who they thought was gonna be the most impactful for the NBA season.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think that person is, either right now or at the end of the season?
Push that question to Nick because he didn't talk much last week.
All right, let's hear it, Nick. What do you think?
You said the most exciting player, right?
Yep.
Most impactful.
Impactful.
Yeah.
It's not Giannis anymore because my Heat locked that boy up. But
Yeah.
impact-wise, I'd have to go Alex Caruso.
Alex Caruso. Why?
That boy brings that defense.
Right.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, you can make a huge argument for Alex Caruso, but I just want to know your opinion.
He's one of the top defenders on the Chicago Bulls team. I think last I checked, they were ranked 7th. I think
They're ranked third now.
now they're third.
Second.
Exactly. And why is that? It's because of Lonzo Ball and Alex Caruso, so it could have gone to either one of them, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But I also just like to watch Caruso on offense more, since that boy's more fun to watch, dunking on kids'
Mm-hmm.
heads and then doing the headband celebration. But that Chicago Bulls team, like, when you look at their team on roster, Zach LaVine's never been like a phenomenal defender. I think this is his best year so far.
Mm-hmm.
But he's never been locked down. Vucevic, not much of a lockdown center or a rim protecting center at that. So the defense has got to come from somewhere, and it comes from Caruso and Lonzo.
So your pick is AC. Who do you
Yep.
got, Jake?
I'm gonna roll with the Lakers because that's who I know most about. And I'm gonna
Okay.
say, as of right now, for the Lakers, it's Malik Monk because that boy's coming off the bench and getting 15 to 20 a game. And if he didn't do that, we wouldn't be in games, let alone winning games that we have won in the past.
I could understand that.
What do you got, Gio?
So I honestly, it's a tough pick. I would have to say most impactful like player this year. It could be either Steph, right?
Yeah, I was thinking about Steph too, but I feel like they could do well without him too. I feel like.
I feel like they do well, but they wouldn't be in the position they'd be if they didn't have, the MVP contender.
Yeah.
But also, like, it's tough because if you have Kyrie come back, right, or Ben Simmons come back, say he has like anything relative to like maybe a shot, like if we see him shoot, we'd be shocked. If he has anything like that I feel like he'd be, if one of those two guys or both of those guys come back in the season, then it changes the entire, season.
Yeah.
Like the outlook on the 76ers, they could go someplace. Nets would be, I feel like they would be the front runner contenders for the chip.
Yeah.
But like, my heart and head want to say it's gotta be Mobley, Evan Mobley.
Yeah.
Just because with him we're winning, and without him we're losing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's shocking because we haven't had that type of impactful player on the Cavs since LeBron. Where if we're winning with him and losing without him, and we could honestly go to the playoffs this year where no one thought we were going to be anything good. So I might have to say Evan Mobley.
Yeah, I can agree with Mobley. He's been crazy good for you guys.
For sure.
Yeah, Cavs. Let's just keep it with them. How about that Cavs Bulls game?
Yeah.
Flex.
It was interesting to see.
I mean, I know the Bulls were without DeMar because of COVID and stuff, but like even with DeMar, they would have won, but it would have been closer than I would have expected.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just I didn't expect the Cavs to go out and do that.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, they've been much better than I expected.
Yeah, even as a fan, I was not expecting this one bit this year.
Like Darius Garland's probably having his best year,
Right.
and then Evan Mobley, one of the best contenders for Rookie of the Year, and you still got Jarrett Allen paired with him.
Right, and we don't have Sexton. Sexton got hurt for us, so.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's crazy. And you still got Kevin Love coming off the bench.
Right, who's being productive, which is good to see. But you understand the tough times as a Lakers fan where you guys were awful. I don't really think Nick understands that in his lifetime as a Heat fan because he had D-Wade bring the Heat up. Then you had LeBron come there. And then you had maybe 1 or 2 years after LeBron left where they were bad. But overall, they've been a pretty solid team because of Eric Spoelstra. So I want to hear your thoughts on that, Nick. Like, what do you think about your Heat? Do you think they've been a solid team pretty much your whole life?
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Because even with Pat Riley, he always wants to be competitive and at least make playoffs. Even the years where LeBron left, I still had like D-Wade and Chris Bosh to cheer for, even though Bosh was dealing with blood clots and stuff. Udonis Haslem too,
Still there.
Coach on the floor, just the GOAT.
He's still there. He's still there riding the bench.
I don't think he's going to retire till 45. Because like he could be content just getting paid like $2 million just to sit on the bench the whole year.
Yeah, seriously. And even when he goes in, he still does well.
Exactly. He's just a coach, really. Like, that's what he's mainly used for, I feel like, off that bench. Coaching up people like, Bam, make a better play here. You're at 7, do this, not this, I hate you're at 7, though. I hate watching him play.
Dude, I saw that guy for the first time. I was like, who the heck is this guy?
One dude on Miami this year that I've been happy to see, but I hated before, like the past week. Max Strus.
Yeah, dude, he's been great.
He's been hitting his threes like somewhat consistently too. It's been so nice. Normally, I hate that dude. He just chucks.
Yeah, but couldn't you say the same thing for Tyler Hero last year though? He was just chucking, man.
Oh, entirely. But like he was a legit player. They drafted him in the first round with the 14th pick. He kind of got thrown in to just shoot the ball.
Right.
Meanwhile, Strus has had to like work his way up and shit and stuff.
Right. And that's just that's your Heat player, man. You either draft low or get these undrafted players, and then they turn out to be like real great players.
That's really good rotational pieces.
Right.
Oof. Let's go to the Knicks game. They got smacked by the Pacers.
Yeah. So I feel like R.J. Barrett, I feel like Julius Randle are the two focal points, obviously, for this team.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they need to expand their game.
Especially without Kemba now, too.
Right. I feel like even though Mitchell's coming off the bench, right?
Yeah.
I feel like even though he's coming off the bench, I feel like he needs to be more productive. Even though, he's still getting some minutes, he needs to show why he was a starter at one point. He needs to either have a more defensive stops and be more aggressive defensively, get the rebounds he needs, and also be more aggressive, down low when you're on offense. You know how to box out, you know how to get a rebound, and then just put it right back up. And I don't feel like he's doing that right now.
Yeah, I also want to see more from Evan Fournier. He has not been good since the beginning of the year.
That's very
right.
true.
But what I have seen is he has been clutch in clutch time at some points where he deserves some of his contract. Right now I agree with you. He needs to be more consistent. but at the same time, he has been clutch. You know what he can do, and you really brought him there for the postseason. So we'll see what happens if they even make the postseason. So
Yeah. I don't know. Thibodeau started Todd Gibson. He's being weird as a coach this year.
I feel like he's just trying to change things, see new rotations, see what works best.
Yeah.
But what do you think, Nick? What do you think about that?
Nerlens Noel didn't play against the Pacers too. I feel like that's the main reason Taj, the dinosaur, got a lot of playing time. I call him a dinosaur because he's very, very old. He's been around since pterodactyls. So, but I feel like once Nerlens Noel for that Knicks team last year was a really nice piece. So I think once he comes back and he's healthy, he'll be back in that lineup or the rotation, and he'll be making impacts.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Oh, you guys see Kuzma's game winner?
I did, and I feel like you touched on this before, but every time an LA player leaves, they just get better.
Yeah,
it's just the
it's
curse.
just because they don't thrive in LeBron's system. They're too young to understand what they have to do. Like I could,
but even then, Julius Randle, that was before.
Yeah, but he was doing great. We just had to let him go because we needed money for Bron.
Right. Well, actually, you wanted money for AD too, but
yeah, true.
It worked out in the end, though.
Yeah, but I mean, the Wizards, they're still sleepers.
Oh, for sure.
Like no one gives them the credit they deserve. I feel like.
No.
Although I do believe Bradley Beal gets this bag this offseason and dips.
He might.
I think he gets traded as soon as he gets his bag.
That would be interesting to see, though. But at the same time, like, he's so loyal, man. Everyone wants him there. Everyone in DC wants him there, so.
Yeah, I don't see him leaving. I just can't.
Right.
What else?
LeBron's just a bad teammate, though,
I feel like, you're trying to start something there, and I feel like it's the same thing with Russ, man. Like, he does everything he can, but at the same time, he's still getting a bad rep for being a bad teammate just because, like, some teammates, I would say some teammates, when they leave, they do good. But when the actual player leaves, that's when the team does bad. Yeah. Obviously, that's not the case for the Wizards and Russ, but they did get a huge haul, for him.
Mm-hmm. That Sixers-Hornets game was a good one, too.
Yeah. Can I jump in real quick?
Yeah.
I feel like I had to say something real quick.
Huh?
Yeah, did you have something to say, bro?
Yeah, I think LeBron's washed. He needs to retire. He can't even put up 10 points. No, but what I said about LeBron being a bad teammate, that's all cap. He's the best player of all time, in my opinion. So it is what it is.
Right.
Every star is going to get a bad rep. It's just it comes with the territory.
Facts.
Like, no matter what sport you play, you're always going to have a bad rep if you're good.
You.
So go right ahead, Jake. Talk about what were you talking about, the Charlotte game?
Yeah, I was just saying it was a good game. I mean, the Sixers only won by 4, 110 to 106.
And that was in overtime, correct? Or was that not in overtime?
Regulation.
That was in regulation.
Yeah. And Embiid shot 19 free throws. Wow.
And don't forget about Seth Curry. He was a huge part of that game.
Yeah, he did really. That was probably his best game of the year so far.
Right, and when he plays good, they win. So.
Yeah. I mean, Gordon Hayward had 31 and it all went to waste.
Yeah, it's good to see him be doing that again. Like you'll see these glimpses of what he was in the past, but hopefully he can, build off this and be more consistent with this type of play.
Yeah. I mean, the Hornets, they're going to be good. They'll probably be a playing team, I feel like.
Oh, for sure.
But I don't know. What you laughing about?
Who? Which one? Hey,
Yeah, you.
Um,
nothing.
I think Tobias Harris needs to be more aggressive and take more shots. No Simmons. Seth Curry just cannot be their second best player right now. I'm not even asking Toby to shoot efficiently, but just take more shots, help him be the way, like, as much as he can. Right now, Seth Curry being their second best player just isn't going to pan out to anything deep in the playoffs.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Like even when they first got Tobias Harris, he hasn't been what they expected. I feel like
You know,
like
like the productivity when he was on the Clippers, I feel like they still need to, even though he's been there for a little bit, they still need to showcase what he can do. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Once in a while, he'll get like 30 points or whatever, but just need to incorporate him with Embiid's game, and then, yeah, I feel like that team will gel more, and they could be a contender, like in the East.
yeah. I also want to see more from Tyrese Maxey though. He started out hot, but since then he fell off, like shooting wise.
Yeah.
Like he only shot 5 shots yesterday. He needs to be more aggressive.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on Kelly Oubre?
Kelly Oubre.
My thoughts on Kelly Oubre. He's honestly, to me, the GOAT. Kelly Oubre, the explosiveness on him. I remember watching him when he was on the Wizards, and no one was really talking about him. And I was like, wow, this kid could honestly be really good. I feel like he's right now like in Andrew Wiggins' position when he was on the T-Wolves, where he's got the talent, but he's not really showcasing it. But he's still got the athleticism, and LaMelo's got to try to help like bring that out of him. So
Yeah, I agree. Like the only reason he did well last night is because there is no LaMelo. That's like he needs to score now. But when LaMelo's on the court, he doesn't score.
If LaMelo was playing, bro, Philly might have dropped that game.
Yeah, Sixers would have lost.
Yeah,
for sure. Don't get me wrong.
No, even if Terry Rozier was playing alone, like they didn't even have Rozier.
Yeah, they were very hurt, and the Sixers barely slid by.
Yeah, like this Sixers team, it's kind of concerning to be honest.
So, when we were talking about the impactful players, I know LaMelo's not probably on the top 5 list, but for his team, he's like Steph. You take him off, they're gonna lose automatically.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's true because he does it all for them.
So what's your thoughts on that, Nick? I see you scratching your chin, thinking the gears turning.
Against a good team, I agree with that.
For sure.
But you cannot tell me that Hornets team would not beat the Thunder.
Okay, so we know that the Thunder, they're like a JV squad. You don't even acknowledge them anymore until they get a superstar in there or draft a superstar. We're not even talking about OKC.
Unless
they don't even deserve to be acknowledged.
Unless SGA drops 30, yeah, the Hornets are going to beat them.
Hey, the GOAT, though.
Yeah, I feel like if he's got to get out of there.
Yeah.
He's got to get out of there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to – he'll have a career, but he's not going to get the recognition that he deserves.
Right. He's got to get out of there. Dort's got to get out of there. They all got to go. Just leave OKC as fast as you can.
Like,
because
this rebuild is going to take years. Like, I get they have, like, a ton of picks, but that gets you to so many, like, places.
With the way rebuilding in the NBA with all those draft picks, I don't really see how it can really work unless you're consistently getting, like, top picks. And even then, they'd have to bundle some picks together and trade for a top-tier pick.
Mm-hmm.
Like, unless they start doing something like that.
Yeah, like, look how long it took the Cavs. Like, it took a long time. It's going to take at least 5 years.
I would honestly, I would go back without LeBron James, right? I would say not back to the Mark Price era. You know what I'm saying? That's when the last time we were good without a generational player.
Mm-hmm.
So you got, I don't want to say 20 years, right? Because LeBron was there for what, 10 years possibly?
Yeah, probably.
Maybe that.
Something like that, yeah.
So I would say a decade at least a decade of us not being good. So
I'm saying at least 5 to 7 years for the Thunder to be good again.
Right. I would agree.
But I mean, they did beat the Raptors last night. That's kind of sad for the Raptors.
It is, and I feel like Fred VanVleet, he's expressing his frustration, and I don't know. I feel like if the Raptors, because they were playing good, they were being a solid team.
Yeah, all their starters scored in double figures, and they still lost. Like that just can't happen.
Right.
Like they need more from their bench. They have no bench players.
Exactly. All their starters used to be their bench players.
Yeah.
Now they're just starters. So.
I mean, like, it shouldn't be this bad. Like, there shouldn't be a top contender in the East, but they shouldn't be this bad.
No, they should be where the Cavs are, to be honest. Like, with the way their team's developed, the Cavs should be, I honestly would say, a tier above them, and then they should be where the Cavs are. Like, something like that.
I mean, Gary Trent's been a positive development for them, though. He's been balling this year.
Oh, he has.
Like, I mean, I knew he was good at Duke. I didn't know how well he'd pan out in the NBA, but he's panning out well right now.
Right. And what do you think of, like, the rookie? Like, I feel
Scotty Barnes? I got him as a rookie of the year right now. He's been crazy good.
He's been pretty good, yeah.
Like, when they drafted him, I'll be honest, I didn't think it was a good pick. Like, I didn't know who this kid was, really.
Right.
But he's been really good. Like, he's been the most consistent rookie of the entire season so far.
Scotty Barnes is probably my favorite rookie this year to watch.
I haven't even watched him, but, like, he's good.
You think the Raptors should keep Siakam?
I mean, I think if I'm Siakam, then I want to get out of there because I don't want to be on a losing team.
So if you were an NBA player, where would you try to go?
I'd try to go to a contender because I feel like Siakam has enough value to get to a contender.
He is making a bag, though.
Yeah, that's true. But, like, I feel like at some point you want to win eventually.
Yeah, no doubt.
He got one win, and that's because Kawhi was there. Like, once Kawhi left, that whole organization went downhill.
Real quick, too.
Yeah. And then Kyle Lowry left, too, so now what? But, I mean, for the Raptors' sake, I feel like they should keep Siakam because he's, like, really their only consistent player outside of VanVleet and Scotty Barnes. But what do you think, Gio?
I'm trying to think of a team that, like, kind of needs him, like, and that would fit well, like, into their organization and their, like, type of culture they built. So I would have to say it would be tough, but man, yeah, I don't even know right now who, like, as a contender.
Biased, I mean, like, if the Lakers slid AD to the 5 and then put Siakam at the power forward, it might work.
So you want Siakam on the Lakers?
I'm not.
Is that what you're telling me right now?
I'm not saying that, no. But I'm just saying, like, in general, teams that we're talking about, like, that could one of the destinations could be that.
Well, obviously, you got Lakers that probably, without the Warriors, like, anomaly this year, where we didn't think that we thought they were going to be good, but we didn't think they were going to be, like, record-breaking good. So without that, you thought the Lakers were going to be the top seed in the East. Or West, I mean, West.
Correct.
So, right?
Yeah.
So obviously you're going to say, all these good players, let's just jack this team. Let's, bring them all in. So there's that. But I'm saying, like, a mid-tier team, like, what about Portland?
Yeah. I feel
Can Portland be doing something where you got, obviously, CJ's hurt, obviously Dame's hurt. If you can keep Dame and CJ and Nurkic somehow and still get Siakam, that's a team to fear in the West, I think. Like, they'll make some noise.
I still feel like at some point the Portland Trailblazers got to blow something up eventually.
They will, but at the same time, if Dame wants to stay, if they make amends with Dame,
Well,
And
he said himself that he wants to stay, and so does CJ.
right, but at the same time, isn't there something going on between him and Billups, Chauncey?
I mean, at some point, I don't see Chauncey lasting more than 1 year in the NBA as a coach right now.
Okay.
So that's just my opinion. Like I was watching him coach last night. It wasn't even coaching. Like he wasn't really doing much.
Right.
Like I mean, there's some players who are great, and then they're just not great coaches. I feel like that's Chauncey.
Yeah, I feel like he'd be like a better higher management sort of, like a
like a GM or something.
right, exactly.
But I forgot, like the Pacers. Do you see the Pacers are thinking about moving toward a rebuild?
I saw that they were considering trading Sabonis.
Yeah, what do you guys think about that?
I think it's a good idea, right? Like they're going nowhere. Either they're getting worse or they're staying the same. They're not, heading in the right direction.
Yeah.
They were good. The last team they were like pretty well was like 2018, right? With Oladipo, Sabonis, all those guys on that team.
Yeah.
Blew that team up, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, just not gelling. You need to build around Sabonis, and right now I think you have all these good players and Sabonis. It's not really all these good players around Sabonis. You know what I'm saying?
I can agree with that.
Like Brogdon, we know he can ball, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, Brogdon's really the only one they're thinking about keeping, is what it seems like, because Turner,
right,
Sabonis, and LeVert are all on the table.
Exactly.
But I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's a right move, but at some point, I don't think you should trade all three of the players. Like you keep at least one. I feel like.
I feel like the one you should keep, right? It's got to be Sabonis. He's your best player.
Easily, yeah.
Right. But at the same time, that's who you can bring in a lot for, right? Either if you want to win now, get like maybe two great players, or if you want to win in the future, get some draft picks. But depends on how they want to rebuild. So
yeah, I can agree. I feel like they're gonna go for more draft picks, honestly.
Right.
But what do you think, Nick? So I saw this one thing. I don't know how accurate it is, but it said, hold on, let me pull it up real quick.
All right.
Yeah, it said Turner was unhappy with his role. He's seeking more opportunity with all the trade rumors around his name.
Mm-hmm.
So would you rather keep Sabonis or Miles Turner?
I'd rather keep Sabonis because
that's right.
One, he's better, and two, he's happy with the situation. I feel like.
Where's the ideal team for Turner if you had to pick one?
I got one.
What?
I got one. I'm gonna have to say Nets. Why not? Right? Brooklyn. They lost they lost the great big and Jared Allen. Right?
Mm-hmm.
They're missing that center. Even though Claxton's pretty good, he's not one of those guys. You have an experienced Miles Turner, right? You bring him in with James Harden and Kevin Durant. I feel like he'd be a good fit for them, and that's just really the piece they need right now. They need a big who can do everything, just about. So,
I'm not trying to be biased, but I feel like the best fit would be the Lakers because our centers are not good, to say the least, other than Dwight Howard, but Fuller plays him.
On that, I would say Miles Turner, the best spot for him would be the Lakers because he's a stretch big that can protect the rim, which is like the Lakers. We talked about Siakam on the Lakers earlier. I don't think that works because of the spacing.
Yeah.
Right.
I think Miles Turner would be ideal in that center role for them.
I agree. And he's going to get the playing time that he wants, too, because we don't have any centers who would kick him out of the rotation.
Exactly.
But all right, let's talk about Steph's record breaking. He's about to break it, I feel like, tomorrow.
You think tomorrow?
Yeah.
How many he needs? 13 or something like that?
He's 10.
10?
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be chasing it. I think it'll be 2 games. I honestly, Like the last time I saw him, I thought it was going to be 3 games when he had like 16 left, just because I feel like he's going to get like 5, 7, and something else. Like he's not going to try to be like, oh, let me go ahead and get like 11 tonight. Like, right? So
I mean, he's squeezing up threes, bro. He's trying to get as many threes off as he can. He shot like 17 last night. Yeah, he shot 6 for 17.
right, but at the same time, he's got to like he's playing his game. He's trying to do stuff for his team to win. He's not, he's not trying to like shoot just to make this record. He's he's shooting to have his team win. So if his team needs him to shoot 5 threes or whatever, right, make 5 threes, he'll do that. But if he's going off, right, let's say he's having a fun night, he's got the hot hand, obviously I feel like he's going to hit that 10. But other than that, he's just going to do what his team needs him to do to win the game.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, it's going to happen. We all know that. He's going to.
Oh, obviously.
Yeah.
It's going to either be this game or it's going to be the next game. So.
Yeah. It's going to be crazy to see, too.
Oh, it's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah.
Especially when Ray Allen comes back just to hit those threes, right?
Yeah, seriously.
Be like, yo, let me get that record.
You got to hit more now.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's going to be fun. But that Nuggets-Pelicans game, I don't know how the Nuggets went into overtime with the Pelicans. Like, that's concerning.
Well, like I said, bro, like in the last podcast, I think we were talking about, do we need to get worried for the Nuggets? Right?
Honestly, I think we do, because to go into overtime with one team is one thing, but to the Pelicans, bro, that's another thing.
Right.
Like, that's kind of concerning. Even with Jokic putting up 39, 11, and 11, and you still go into overtime. Like, I don't know. I get they don't have Jamal Murray, but they shouldn't be this bad.
Right.
That's what I feel like.
But at the same time, I'll go right ahead. Go right ahead.
No, you, bro. I'll go after you.
All right, I'll go quick then. So for me, it's like
we got less than a minute, so just
Michael Porter Jr., right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's a huge part of that team. He's not playing right now. He's hurt with his back. So that could also be a reason why they're losing. Go right ahead.
Yeah, that's true. I can agree with that. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, for having the league's MVP last year, I think they're very below what I expected from them. I thought Jokic would turn it up more. Jokic is doing as much as he can pretty much, but they just got to be better at this point.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what's wrong with them either. Like, they're scoring with the best of them. It's just they're letting other teams score like crazy as well.
Yeah, sure.
Like, they let the Pelicans score 114. That's one of, if not the worst team in the NBA. So that's concerning. If I was a coach, that'd be concerning.
Right.
But that's all the time we got. We got anything else to you?
Yo, real quick. I know I did this last week, but sneaker of the week this week, obviously, it's got to be the Jordan 11 Cool Grays.
Yeah,
dropping on the 11th, Jordan 11, hype shoe every single year. You know it's coming around Christmas. That's the shoe you got to get. All right.
Yeah, bro. I'm trying to get that. Those are so fire, bro.
Hey, there's no draw for them. It's first come, first served, just like how it should be. So let's see. Everyone's got a chance. Hopefully I got a pair. If not, I'm going to StockX. I'm picking myself up one right then and there. So.
All right. That's all the time we got for today. See y'all next week. Gio.
Hey, yo. Thank you guys for coming out for another episode. Like I said last time, if you guys like the video, just go down and hit subscribe, because next week's going to be another banger. So I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, Jake.
All right, I did mine. Say
Yeah. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time. Juice WRLD album coming out tonight.
All right, I like it.